It's already so hard to live in a post-apocalyptic zombie world. How much more when you're hanging out with a middle-aged man-child, a teenage girl who's going through puberty, and your girlfriend who's ditched you since 2009. I mean, come on, girl. Have you ever heard of character development? Hey there, this is Popcorn Recap, and in this video we will talk about Zombieland Double Tap, which is the sequel to the 2009 post-apocalyptic movie Zombieland. Pale, they literally took 10 years to make another one. Before we start, make sure to like this video, drop a comment and subscribe to this channel for more movie summaries. This movie begins with the Statue of Liberty knocking out two zombies. Get it, girl? But seriously, this movie starts with the introduction of evolved zombies. Well, it's been 10 years. These things have evolved somehow. Let's go through some of them, shall we? Number 1, the Homer. A literal dumbass. No explanations. Next, it's the Hawking, cause it stays in the wheelchair. No, just kidding. This zombie can run, unlike its name, but it's clever. It's tech savvy too. Number 3 is the Ninja, as if the track runner zombies weren't too much. Today, our heroes Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita and Little Rock are living Boda's life in America's house. Tallahassee is sitting in the president's chair holding a chunky cigar. At the same time, the rest of the group argues about who should be president. In that case, one of them must be a Democrat or Republican, unless they have the powers of George Washington. After that, they have fun in the White House, doing things like riding a scooter, playing basketball, and jumping on the presidential bed. Our couple, Columbus and Wichita, are staying in the Lincoln bedroom like a sweet and cute couple. Wichita asks Columbus to put a blindfold on Lincoln's eyes because she doesn't like him staring while they're having sex. Meanwhile, Tallahassee is upgrading the Beast into a machine gun equipped limousine with Little Rock. That's better than a Humvee, I guess. Little Rock, who's not so little anymore, told him that she wants a boyfriend to build a family. Tallahassee tells her that they're her family, but she gets annoyed and walks out. This scene is giving me Fast and Furious vibes. Grrr. Come almost Christmas, Tallahassee dresses up as Santa Claus and greets the group. He gives a present to Little Rock, which is a pistol, and you're right, the kid isn't pleased. While Wichita gave Columbus a J.R.R. Tolkien book, which he liked very much. Columbus proposes to Wichita with an enormous ring in the Lincoln bedroom in the evening. I wonder how deep the diamond was dug up. But of course, knowing her, we know she'd say no. When morning came, Tallahassee showed Columbus a letter from Wichita and Little Rock saying for leaving. Again, knowing them, we know they'd do it. Talk about deja vu. As they were driving, they came across an Indian guy with a guitar in the middle of the road. A month later, Columbus and Tallahassee go on a trip to the retail store. They're riding this modern electric scooter to go around when they see a Hannah Montana zombie. Based on her licks, she's not a Miley Cyrus, trust me. Tallahassee threw his vodka in the air, shot it, then hit Hannah Montana. The vodka throw was utterly unnecessary, but he did it anyway for the sake of ZKLTY. Oh, remember the ZKOTW, or the zombie kill of the week? Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. They now have the ZKOTY, or the zombie kill of the year. Like a junkie, our heroes won't settle for cheap Anyway, let's go back. Columbus further explores the retail store and goes to the scented candle store. As he sniffed candles, a noise came from behind, so he immediately shot his shotgun at it. Surprisingly, it's not a zombie, but a live human being in pink, and her name was Madison. And just as what gentlemen would do, they invite her to the White House. They later figured out that she was kind of a Homer. Dumbass. With the words from the man-child himself. She's still alive because zombies eat brains and she ain't got one. Columbus and Madison tour the place and go to the bedroom. Madison pushes Columbus onto the bed and then jumps on top of him. And yes, they do the dirty in front of Abraham Lincoln. Thank God his eyes had sticky notes on them. Wichita came back to the White House to get some stuff when the two guys heard her. She's getting some stuff to find Little Rock, who apparently ran away with a musician from Berkeley. She finally got a taste of her own medicine. Woo-hoo! The three of them, and Hannah Montana, Madison, hit the road to find Little Rock. Meanwhile, Little Rock and Berkeley guy also hit the road, and she discovered that he's a junkie. I mean, hippie. The other group stopped on the highway to check out a parked RV. As they reached the RV, Madison quickly opened the door, and the alarm immediately went off. Zombies were now moving toward them, so they shoot and shoot and shoot. As they killed almost everyone, they see one more zombie and notice that it's a new variant. Yes, just like COVID. This variant is called T800. The bastard won't die. This overrides rule number 2, so they'll have to shoot it as many times possible. This variant will waste a lot of bullets, I'm telling you. As they were leaving with their RV, boom, tires burst. They have no choice but to go back to the minivan. While on the road, Madison suddenly turns rashly red, so they decided to stop the vehicle for Madison to get out and throw up. While doing her thing, Columbus, Tallahassee, and Wichita discuss whether to keep Madison or leave her behind. They eventually decide to let Columbus shoot her so that she won't become a zombie. Columbus went back to the minivan, and they continued their journey. I guess a zombie apocalypse teaches you to be ruthless. What a shame. Nighttime arrives. They come across a flashy, Riverdale-looking hotel in the middle of nowhere, and the limousine's there too. They immediately went in and saw musician stuff like guitars, framed vinyl records, and a piano. They later realized that it's an Elvis Presley-themed hotel. Tallahassee decides to play the piano when a woman attacks him. Columbus and Wichita then arrived, and they all were pointing guns at each other. It's like the Spider-Man meme when 3 Spider-Mans were pointing at each other. Anyway, apparently Little Rock and Berkeley left for Babylon days before and left the limo. Babylon is somehow a safe haven for survivors. But come on, who lives a perfect limousine equipped with a machine gun? I know, I wouldn't. Would you? Tell me in the comment section below. As the night gets deeper, Tallahassee and the woman who attacked him, named Nevada, had some drinks and talked about how they're a fan of Elvis. Is this a middle-aged people date? Little Rock and Berkeley finally reached their destination, Babylon. As they were about to enter, a front desk woman, as I would call her, tells them that there are no guns and group sex allowed inside. When they got inside, these people were actually melting all guns. I mean, what is this place? Weird shit's literally going on here. Back at the hotel, Tallahassee is playing dress up when they hear a loud noise. They went outside and discovered that a monster truck had crashed the beast. Poor Tallahassee. Bad luck strikes him again. The driver, Albuquerque, gets out of his truck and goes into an argument with him. Columbus and Wichita noticed that they weren't arguing about the car, but about Nevada. They both slept with her, that's why. Another guy, Flagstaff, got out of the truck, which looks precisely like Columbus. His hair, clothes, how he speaks, and he even got commandments just like Columbus's rules. It's like a doppelganger, but not a scary one. So they start comparing rules and commandments like little kids. They go inside a hotel and talk and play games for a while. Moments later, they hear noises coming from outside. They all immediately checked it out and see 3 zombies climbing Albuquerque's monster truck. Albuquerque and Flagstaff go out to kill the flesh-eating creatures, then come back in. Nevada noticed a bite mark on Albuquerque's wrist, and he immediately acted sick. Flagstaff was also starting to look red. They both turned zombies at the same time, so they had no choice but to run and fight them. As Flagstaff is on top of Columbus, Nevada shoots him straight in the head. ZKOTY! Another zombie kill of the year comes from Italy. A guy lured Homer zombies towards mannequins, then caused the Leaning Tower of Pisa to fall on them. Creative like Picasso. Going back, the group decides to head for Babylon. However, Nevada chooses to stay behind. As you would expect, she and Tallahassee kissed. I know. Ew. Tallahassee tries to drive the monster truck, but he just can't. Therefore, they're back in the minivan. I swear to God, this minivan is a survivor. As they were on their way to their destination, they overtook an ice cream truck. It's Madison. Everyone was surprised except for Columbus. Madison transferred to the van and told them that she did not turn into a zombie. Instead, she only had a peanut allergy. Back then, she was eating trail mix in the back seat. Duh, who knew there were nuts on trail mix? They traveled for days, and we haven't seen them eat a biscuit. So weird. They finally arrived at Babylon. As soon as everyone got out of the minivan, Tallahassee threw a grenade inside it and blew it to Kingdom Come. Not so much of a survivor. The van was literally why they couldn't have a nicer ride. I totally understand. So should you. The front desk woman told the group that guns aren't allowed inside, which didn't sound good with Tallahassee. However, Wichita was able to convince him, and they went in. They finally found Little Rock and had a mini reunion. At nighttime, they had a few beers when Tallahassee decides that he was not fit in the community and would like to leave. The group totally understands and lets him go. As he was on the road, he saw zombies running opposite his direction. He hurriedly went back to warn the people of Babylon. He shouted to everyone that zombies are coming. Track runners, homers, hawkings, T-800s, and others. All the people agreed to fight, so everyone gathered at a table to make a plan. They are now preparing and practicing for arrival of the zombies. Tallahassee, Columbus, Wichita, and Little Rock go outside the secondary barrier to light up the fuel so that the zombies would burn when they come close. The zombies did what they thought they would, jumping and burning, straight from a World War Z movie. Awesome! However, the fuel tank blew up and the fire was extinguished. The zombies are now advancing to the main barrier. Just as the zombies were attacking their position, an angel sounds her horn and flies straight into the zombies. It's Nevada driving the monster truck. They get inside a truck and drive to safety while hitting and crushing zombies with their huge ass wheels. Unfortunately, the truck flips and they now have to run for safety. They're now heading for the tower as its last part of the plan. Tallahassee acts as bait to lure the zombies. He runs to the edge of the road and makes the last and only great American zombie jump. He's holding onto the hook of the crane like a shrimp on a fishing rod. This is what Columbus calls ZKOTC, for the zombie kill of the century. They pull Tallahassee back to safety as everything is now safe. Columbus proposes to Wichita again, and this time she says yes. So Madison willingly gives back the ring. In the end, Columbus and Wichita get married and drives around with their family. Tallahassee, Nevada, and Little Rock. Until next time.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.